Welcome to Withdraw Consent. I'm Jack. So I want to talk to you about this Netanyahu visit, right? And there's a lot, people have already talked about it. It's old news by now, but I'm going to give you a different perspective that people just aren't talking about. It's insane. So he comes to visit during the middle of the war against the women and children of Gaza or whatever he's doing. And the Republican part's not that interesting at all. So of course they give him standing ovations, 50 something standing ovations in 50 something minutes. We've already covered that. That's Christian Zionism. They're enthusiastically supporting him for the most part, not being forced to do so by AIPAC, right? The really interesting part here is the Democrats, right? So the Democratic constituency doesn't support genocide. Now we understand why the Christian Zionists do, and that's a huge problem, and that's even become just a sub-focus of this channel, which I wouldn't have told you was the problem when the channel first started, you know? But now I realize that it is. But the Democrats are so interesting because their constituencies don't like genocide. Okay, good, right? And the problem is, though, AIPAC. So what happens is he's giving the speech, and what happens is, so like some Democrats are enthusiastic about genocide, so they start clapping fervently. And then you could just see in the eyes of the ones who don't, whether they support genocide or not, they know their constituency doesn't, so they're trying not to clap, so they reluctantly begin unenthusiastically clapping. Then all the Democrats next to them stand up for the ovation, and then they reluctantly stand up, right? It's like AIPAC is forcing these people to do this, despite the fact that their constituency doesn't want them to, right? And it reminds me of like in 1984, right? They had this 2 minutes of hate. And what you would do is you're in Oceania, they would have the Goldstein, who was the enemy guy, come on the screen, and you would scream your hate at the screen for 2 minutes, you know? But there's also a camera on the screen, and it's watching you to see if you're really being enthusiastic about your hate. So you got to be like really enthusiastic to prove your loyalty to, you know, Big Brother, right? And this is what it reminds me of. It's like a loyalty test to another country, right? And even the ones who are hesitating, like AIPAC might get them voted out just for hesitating, you know? And I was talking to Victor about this, and he was saying this goes back to a previous episode we did where we were talking about who's the daddy. I'll put a link in the description below between Israel and the United States, because the point of that video was that Christians think that the United States is daddy. But obviously, if you really look at the facts, which we did in that episode, you can check it out if you want to. If you really look at the facts, Israel's daddy. And in this situation, you could just totally see, here comes this foreign leader, you know, who's in the middle of doing terrible, terrible things. And it's just, the whole situation is ridiculous. And so even if you have a constituency that doesn't like genocide, which you should, and it's a bummer that Christians aren't that constituency, it's insane as a matter of fact, you know, then you still can't get representatives who will stand against them. And if they do, they'll get voted out. So like that Jamal Bowman dude, whatever, he got voted out by AIPAC in New York, and one of the squad, Rashida Tlaib, was holding up the sign "Stop Genocide" or something. But she's probably in a district where AIPAC has no control over her, because if she has, say, enough people from the region who have immigrated here, who are her main constituency, and not just regular Democrats who could be swayed by AIPAC, so she's probably in a safe spot. But that's one person out of, what do we got, 535 people in Congress? You got one who will say something about genocide, and the rest applaud enthusiastically, you know? So that's just basically my point. Like this, when you look at it from an AIPAC perspective, it's amazing. I was watching from the Jewish perspective. So this was, man, he's so terrible. This is Adam on PBD, and it's just terrible to listen to. And he's like, wow, I was so amazed about how enthusiastically everybody loves Israel and Netanyahu, you know? And he doesn't realize that they're, well, he may just be propaganding, but they're just paid goons by AIPAC. They have to perform like the monkeys they are for a foreign country in order to stay elected. It's pretty insane. So anyways, that's what I got for you. I thought it was interesting perspective. So basically, I had told you that there was going to be no videos last week except for that short clip I did. The why do Christians support genocide? Because I think that was worth putting my time into. And then I ended up filming a couple of videos for last week. So actually the punishment's going to come this week. So I'm going to post this on Monday. I'm not going to have a Wednesday and Thursday video just because I literally, so today's the 27th and I have till Thursday to post the why Christians support genocide. And I'm like a minute and 20 seconds into editing it, or minute 30. And I literally have to continue editing it this week to finally finish it. And I also realized, so it's Monday now, that video was posted Thursday. So I also realized I'm probably not going to have posted it on YouTube because it just violates TOS. I'm still under strike warning for who knows how long. It seems like it's been months and months. Anyways, I don't really care. So basically there'll be no episodes on Wednesday and Thursday. If anybody wants to pitch in and help, I mean, researching, just the time it takes to research, just finding the resources. Okay, let me pitch you with one. Do you have the resource, right? The reference that you can send me the website link to that is talking about how many dual citizens there are in Washington, D.C., either in Congress or cabinet positions, dual citizenship, America and Israel. Like, this is just one piece of research that I need. I've looked for it. I can't find it. I just don't have time for anything. I want to reply to comments. I just don't have time. If you guys want to volunteer, the email address is below. I'll see you next week on Monday, and there'll be a full set of 3 episodes that week, and I'll see you then.